Okay, what's good, unapologetic gang? All right, give you guys a minute to just kind of come on in. Surprise! We really have to have this serious conversation. So, things are getting quite bad. You guys are in the United States, but are things really getting that bad? Are you prepared for things to get, terrible? What's going on? I wouldn't be somebody of sound mind and good measure if I didn't also put some sort of warning out here. It's going to get worse. So, what do I mean? Not just because this is under today's financial series, surprise, but I'm talking, okay, everybody's, yeah, Wells Fargo, um, they've destroyed lines of credit. The eviction moratoriums have like only a month left. What else? Student loans have to be paid back in about a year. Anytime you want to take out a lot of money, they're going to ask you what you're going to do with it. They're just getting all up in your personal business. These things, yes, but no. So financially, how are you even going to prepare? There's a second even strain of this virus, this Delta variant going around. And they say it's affecting all these people who have not been vaccinated. So the whole issue and the politicalization of, am I taking the jab or not? Should I take the jab? And there's nothing really funny about it, but it's become so politicized. But apparently, this next strand is nothing to play around with. The upcoming race wars that are about to happen, the next fourth stimulus that is about to happen, the reduction of your liberties that is currently happening, censorship that is happening. So let's just talk financial first. If in the event you have your mortgage and things like that, you go to the ATM. Okay, at first we were advised spread out your money because you try to take a little bit out and there's a problem. I had paid a few, like, I try to put myself on a very tight budget because I have people to pay. I have things, I mean, just business expenses are not, generally speaking, like, I mean, it's better to be rich, wealthy, and not look rich, right? Not really doing the most. I'm like very humble. But this is next level humility, guys. I'm talking famine and everything like that. I'm not scaring anybody to go into a space of hoarding, but I'm going to share a few pieces of information that was given to me through my strategist. So, and through a lot of different strategists around, and I spend a good majority of my time just kind of like wanting to see what's upcoming, because let's be honest, for the just, for the righteous, we've never seen the righteous forsaken. So for the righteous, this period has, generally been speaking, been a good period, either where people had some time to either learn about investments, or they had some time to really get serious about their personal goals with their family. They had some time to sit down and what do I want to do? What can we do together? Building forms of security. They had a moment to take a break, and for some and for others, it's not been so good. So for this next wave of mess that is coming, I put out a few videos, very highly videos. The first was vaccines have now become FDA approved. Now starts surveillance. I want you guys to watch that. Yes, okay, I was in a bus, but that's the fun of the nomad, right? That's the fun of the nomad. I want you guys to really be of the currency that you're walking around. Want to invest in coins and not just troy ounces of silver and gold or bars of gold and I mean bars are okay. Like a lot of times people prefer minted coins, and if you can acquire some junk silver, and what I mean by junk silver is if you're living in the US quarters, and nickels, because prior to, so I can give you exactly what a strategist told me exactly. So from 1914 to 1964, junk silver is at 90% silver. This includes, you want to collect dimes and quarters. So you want to have, depending on what your budget is, every month you want to just kind of keep that with you. The next thing I would recommend is kind of having as much cash as you can in different currencies. So if you need to just get Canadian dollars and the currencies, because what's about to happen is the US dollar is going to be worth like nothing. Even Australian dollar is going to be worth nothing. And I'm also like proudly dual citizen. So I recommend people having more than one passport. You don't like what's going on in one country, you can hop over to the next one, and you're really going to see a lot more freedoms happening. So I put out about some blackouts happening. The blackouts are going to start spreading all over the world. So when you think you're good because you got you chopped up a whole cow and it's in your freezer, and the freeze losing its ability to cool your food, what's your next step? I mean, if all of your money is in cryptocurrency and you can't access the internet, what is your next step? If you're not able to get to medical supplies or to a hospital or an emergency room, what is your next step? Where can you be in 3 days or 3 hours? Do you have packages ready? So again, my strategist recommended, okay, always gold outperforms silver. So that's kind of an important thing to recognize. If you are investing in gold, that will always outperform silver. However, if you happen to get into a serious bind and you really want to have much like universal buying power, please don't overlook silver. Please don't overlook silver. So what happens? EVs, everybody starts needing batteries. A whole majority of our world, laptops, computers, television, iPads, electronics, spaceships, they need metals. They need precious metals. So this is another form of currency. Once things go back to a different kind of level, it's going to be a lot more calm. But if we've been watching the markets, GATA is a great place for you to watch everything that's happening with the market minute, hour by hour, so you can just know there's a dip right now in silver, I can go and buy it. Okay, there's higher premiums on gold. It may not be the best time to invest in gold in this moment. And understanding the gold to silver ratio. When silver is at this price, it's better to trade most of my silver for gold. When gold's at this price, it's better to exchange some gold for silver so you can have a good ratio. Now, if you can reach out to any form of strategy and understand what your monthly goal is like, what your monthly budget is like, that is certainly going to help you. But let's be honest, like this is like a different kind of culture. We use our cards for everything. You want to book a hotel, somebody, you need to purchase a conference, it's going to cost you money and you're going to have to use your card to do that. So if you're not able to get money out of the ATM, which this seems to be happening a lot, or even asking the banks for this. I remember I was purchasing a conference and it's above what I like to put my settings on for my own personal limit. And they were asking me, do you mind if I ask you why you're purchasing what you're making this for? And I was just kind of like, is my money none of your business? But I told them anyway. It's a pretty decent bank, but still spreading out my money in different, very helpful. So let's talk the stock market. Things are, I mean, I don't know what to say. The last week, too, it was kind of looking like a bloodbath. And I was really, I don't even know what to say. Like, I woke up this morning because sometimes checking it hour to hour, like maybe if you're, I don't really like to do that with, look at this, just a my watch list in general. Look at that. This is a bloodbath. There's no way to put lipstick on this pig. Look at that. What is ugly is just ugly. I mean, it's just ugly. So I talked to you guys about having some sort of exit strategy happening. So that way, if you did pour all of this into the market, it's not going to be completely like, I mean, first of all, the first rule is don't ever invest what you can't afford to lose. So we already know, okay, look, you could have lost that. But if you're putting this into like, if this is where you're supposed to pay your student loans, it's going to get ugly. I mean, it's going to get so ugly. So I really want to caution you guys, if you're an investment like that, be careful. The next thing is Roth IRAs and a rolling L. Rolling L would be one of the best things to have happen, but no, I mean, with the value of the dollar and the trust, sometimes the capital gains can be good things if it's spread out, but those are conversations I have with the CPA. So everybody has their own situation, which is very different. But I do recommend that you find a CPA and you have a conversation with them as soon as possible. So you're not just CY covering your assets, still also like, even if you don't have assets, you want to be prepared for the fall. Now, a good majority of people who we've been studying under have been saying, listen, it's going to be so bad for a lot of people. And I wrote this, or I shared this with you guys in another vlog, and it was called Time to Disappear. You're about to receive a series of miracle blessings, finally miracles. So this is why you have to really be careful with your finances right now, like eating out, purchasing random things. And with recommends, like if you're like $5 a day is $235 a year, and using the compound calculator, and how many years is that? $1 million. Warren Buffett says, you know, like we have to be, this is being cautious, right? Not everybody needs to Starbucks every single day. I mean, if you got it like that, go ahead. But the group of people I was talking to in that prophetic message is people who are really cautious. I put out another prophetic message, things weird, and you know, a lot of things that I saw, like the shootings and the internet. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me see. Yeah, okay, there we go. So try to go back and listen to that. Definitely keep fasting. Make sure you're getting revelation so you know what the heck is ahead of you, and trust. Don't start doubting. Don't involve any second, third, fourth people. This is between you and God. So what would be awful, where most people are losing their house and they are going through eviction moratoriums, you've been chill, you've been sitting and waiting on a little bit of cash, you've been understanding cash flow, you've been under assets, and you're prepared for all situations. Really, you have, and you understand a little bit of gardening and how you can prepare for that. You know which countries would be best for you to make an exit in, how to maybe even invest, you know, passport by investment, how to purchase a different passport by investing in a little, in the developments of certain countries, or even through the purchasing of land. So you guys be real careful, be vigilant about what's about to happen. And it is going to get bad. Like, I mean, when I recognized, at first, when I wrote the video that I shared with Sunte on a creative vacation, that was really important for me. I didn't really know. I was just like, why was my strategist so negative? Like, everything they say is just negative. They're just feeding into the masses. They have nothing positive to say. And until I recognized, one, that the blackouts, everything that they were talking about was so important. And I was like, wow, this is no joke. And then other people of God were saying, listen, there is about to be scarcity. And then other people were saying, look, I have friends who own certain shops, and they've been receiving letters asking or telling them not to purchase any more of this, not to stock their shelves with X, Y, and Z. So things are being cut off. And this is going to happen like so quickly, we won't have a warning. When we recognize it's happening, it's going to be too late. So any form of protection that you all can take for yourselves, I'm not talking about all you like second bearing arms people, but really, like, you need to be protected, even if it's just a little pepper spray or a hockey stick. Like, you want to be in a space where navigating is going to be important. And if you don't have community, finding out who is going to be a great community for you, because it's going to be a point where even if you don't like the people, you're going to be helping them out. But it's kind of better for them. But I mean, betrayal can happen anywhere, but like, I just pray that you will be free of any form of Judas or Cain or any of that, in Jesus' name. So let's talk about the passport situation. If you are living in the center of some place and is cut off, what is the next thing? Like, what's the plan after that? Do you have, if roads are cut down and gas begins to rise to astronomical prices, if you're located in a place where it's 5, 6, 7, maybe you're expecting 10, 15. Do you have finances under there to get out of there? So it was recommended to have, to share with you guys, to have something like under the bed cash. So you're also covering your living expenses in small bills. So this would help you, because not everybody's going to say, oh, here's $100 bill. Yeah, that might fill up your gas tank, but that for a loaf of bread, I recommend not eating bread because all the other stuff that happens inside of your body. But if it's talking about small things, the fungibility, which is the ability to buy the same thing that you could buy with something else, may not be there. So if you're exchanging, let's say your car breaks down and you need somebody to fix it and it costs a lot, $100 may work there, but let's just say that the currency is not working anymore and you need to exchange it for something. That's where maybe silver comes in, or a few troy ounces. Who's going to recognize that? How much can you get for it without being, hurt? Or how much can you get out of that without like being out of the system? So what's happening now with silver is that there is a bit of a shortage happening. Yes, okay, it's a little bit low in the market. It's dealing with a bit of a bearish situation, and this is usually when other stackers are saying, look, this is the time to kind of start stacking. This is why you want to keep adding to your collection. That's another thing to consider. But it's kind of run out in different places, or what happened last September is starting to happen again. Well, it wasn't September, it's like November-ish. And so you would go to different websites and you would just type in, okay, what's going on here? It'd be 2-3 weeks before you would even get the shipments in, because the mint dealers didn't have it in supply. They had to contact somebody else and get it in. So it's starting to look a bit rough out there, and there might be a little something to save for a minute, like a saving grace, fourth stimulus. But as you all have followed me in my Instagram, there was a Harvard Press book that I've been really raving about, and it's called When the Money Runs Out. Now, this was published in 2013, way before this amount of stimulus started happening. And as predicted by a lot of people, including Mike Maloney, this is nothing in comparison to what's about to happen. Let me read this to you. Yes, okay, so When the Money Runs Out by Stephen D. King, the end of Western affluence. So this is, there's gonna be a lot of distrust, and just looking back, I mean, I think a few months ago, I was actually watching the Peter Schiff talk that he gave about 9 years ago, and he says, is America the new Greece? You know, hey, you really want to do your own research a little bit, and then you want to take it to God, because I mean, sometimes it's not just what I say or what I saw, or everybody's like trusting YouTube and Wikipedia, and that's not, let's be honest, those are not accurate sources. You want to make sure that you're fasting, you're in a space of understanding what is God and what is not. There's some things may be accurate, but it comes from a different source. Okay, so after being delivered, we don't want any of that mess. So now let's get down to transportation, because it can get to the point where, okay, like, how am I supposed to move? Things are getting crazy. I wasn't expecting this level of mess. So people can go on foot. There's even talks about like bug out bags and this and that. But let's just say you don't have to get to that point. You just want to kind of stay wherever you are. Home gardening is one of the best things. You may not need to run, but you do need to have some form of means of protection. You want to have forms of energy. So you can't turn on the light for whatever reason, the water's not on. What are other resources? So if you have a group of people with you, you may want to sit down and devise a plan. If you've been kind of like collecting a bag of rice every time you go to the grocery store, you should have enough, let's just say, for a whole month's worth of a blackout. Things are going to get real rough, and businesses are starting to close a lot. And so everybody's been feeling something. And with the second wave that is coming, this Delta wave, I just want you guys to be really careful, right? Because what better be politicized than to, just keep talking about this. Get around a lot of people. Make sure you are taking a bath in blood of Jesus every day. And make sure that you know what Psalm 91 says, so you can just be prepared. And I just want to, it's like the first thing that pops up. Okay, so listen, let me just read this to you, okay? Because, and we'll do King James, all right? He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. This means that God is going to protect you, okay? I will say to the Lord, He is my refuge, my fortress. In God, my God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler and the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings thou shalt trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in the darkness, nor the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Amen. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, 10,000 by thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, my habitation. There no evil will befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Shalt thou tread upon a lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shall trample under feet. Amen. Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known thy name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and shew him my salvation. Okay, so listen, there might be a weapon, but it's not going to prosper against you guys. You understand how to prepare for all of these situations. You understand that this is not going to be your portion, that a lot of people, again, are going to lose their homes, they're going to lose business, income, cash flow, but not you. Okay, you're preparing for the storm. You understand asset protection, fasting, education, networking, hidden currency, business, and most importantly, again, Psalm 91, you're going to be given hidden, and you're going to be given all proper and divine instruction. You know that you're not going to shy away from sharing the grace that comes from God, the good that comes from God, yet not be braggadocious. You know that you're going to move in secret this season as you prepare properly for the wealth transfer. You know that this is the utmost important, because you will never share your plans, but you're going to be shocked with the result. Many will have a terrible experience like I shared. Again, there's going to be power outages, more pestilence. But as it says in Psalm 91, we don't worry about that. All kinds of people are going to fall. 1,000 by our side, 10,000 by our right side. That's not going to be your portion. So many are going to be so aware that the wicked are going to perish, and your advancement, your promotion, your increase, and things, ways, blessings are going to come from people that most people going to come from ways that people don't understand or comprehend. Now, I always like to do different things for my spiritual life at night, if it's praying all night or playing the Bible in my sleep, and last night I woke up. Oh, okay. I just got a message. I have another conference right now, but I woke up and I just lost my train of thought. Yes, okay. I just woke up, and the first passage was, I will fix my eyes upon the hills, and where does my help come from? My help cometh from the Lord. So this is so important. I have to be honest with you guys in closing. I wasn't really thinking like, what is this really, end times? Like this is something that maybe religious, not spiritual, but religious people call the end times. They're just waiting for some kind of end, right? But really, this is the beginning of something that's going to end. So there's a new beginning happening. This is the end of something, and it's the beginning of something else. And the more and more I start like preparing and really like diving into the word, it's very true. I've shared with you guys before, you need to be closer to God now more than ever. Not because you know something good is coming and you just want the benefits, but because you genuinely like humble, love, and fear God. Okay, I love you guys. I gotta go. I actually have another conference coming in a minute, so I'll see you on the next video. You guys, thank you so much for joining the live stream. See you.